Hello, Newport Covenant family. We love coming to you this way, though we wish we could be in person. We are so glad to be face-to-face like this and fill you in a little bit on the things that are going on here at Newport Covenant. Beginning to serve as your pastors in a global pandemic has been and brought its own set of unique challenges. And we anticipated this coming in. We want to encourage you and applaud you for your courage in calling pastors during a pandemic. But we've been thinking about how do we enter back into life together in person as this pandemic wanes and as a new kind of life begins. And so there's a lot of complexities, there are a lot of options, and we just want to come to you and talk with you about them.
And so we see this as actually a really unique opportunity for us as in the life of the church to really be asking kind of this question, who is the church called to be? And specifically, who are we as Newport Covenant Church? How are we called to do that uniquely? Mm-hmm. And so we're asking these questions saying, what new expressions might God be bringing out, coming to life, birthing in this process? Mm-hmm. What things is God calling us to kind of leave behind? And what traditions is God calling us back to so that we can live out the simple way of Jesus together in a post-COVID pandemic reality?
We acknowledge this much, that there is still grief to work through in this season. It is unlikely that church, as we knew it, will ever look the same because so much has changed. And so we look forward to gathering in person, to returning to a rhythm that we held, that you held, physically embodied in this space and on this campus. But we don't want to overlook the very real pain that grief accompanies any kind of change. And so we hold that with you, we honor that, we honor it in ourselves.
And so we just wanted to kind of catch you up to speed on where some of these conversations are. We're actually kind of catching up to speed. Yes. We're just in our second week. I think we're at like day 9. And so we're kind of jumping headlong into this. And so we want to let you know where we are in these conversations. The first thing we want you to know is we know there's a wide range of personal opinion and ideas and beliefs behind all of these kinds of conversations. And so the guiding question we want for all of us to center our conversation, and something we're even going to hear about this Sunday, is how does this communicate love for our neighbor? How do these decisions communicate love for our community and to be safe and caring for one another? And so to that end, what we're really going to be working on is discerning together. Pastor Mary has brought that beautifully to the elder board of discernment together. What does it look like for us to pursue God's will together? And from that then to establish a kind of a consensus as a church body to come. Not everyone is going to have every piece of how they want this to go, ourselves included, but we want to seek God in that. And so we want to let you know kind of where we're at currently in our process. We have already been communicating with the staff, with Pastor Mary, with the elder board, with the health team, and we're going to kind of try to bring all of those people together to establish or come up with some parameters. What are some markers for us to know what it looks like for us to kind of safely re-enter, and what does that re-entry look like? What groups are continue getting brought in? How do we re-enter on Sunday mornings? What other facets to that look like? So we're going to establish some kind of rough parameters. We're going to be working those things through in the days and weeks to come. And with that, then, kind of a rough timeline. We know, it became abundantly apparent a year ago, this time last year, that everything had to change, right? Everything had to be reworked. And so we know this is a very rough timeline. We won't be able to have absolutely definitive dates, but we're going to be working with the staff and the elders and the health team to kind of figure out what are some kind of soft dates that we can put on the calendar so we can anticipate what it looks like for us to kind of be back together in person. And you can, we'll tell you more about that as we go. The other thing we want to commit to you is that we will communicate regularly with you. This will happen on a semi-regular basis. We're hoping even weekly to kind of give you these updates so that you can get a sense of where we're at in the process and how the conversations are going. And so we're really excited to kind of continue to enter into this space and learn and grow together as we figure these things out.
And as we're working through all of these things, we are excited for the few opportunities we have in the coming weeks. On March 28th, that is Palm Sunday, we will have a drive-in worship service. March 28th is Palm Sunday. It is also the Sunday that we will be installed as your pastors, and Superintendent Greg Yee will be here to participate in that worship service with us. It's also the Sunday that we get to invite new members to join us. And so it's a big Sunday, and we really can't wait to see your faces through the glass, through the windshield, and be together. The following Sunday is Easter Sunday, and we will also have a drive-in service that Sunday. And so more details about that are to come, but we need to see you. And so this is a way that we can see each other safely and then begin the work of coming back together in person. So mark your calendars for both of those. We can't wait.
And just one other piase of detail with that, there will also still be our online recorded services for those as well.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
So all of those details will be coming to you in the kind of next week. We're still working again all of this through. We recognize that this is there's a lot to work through in all of this, and so in the email that this video was attached to, there's a lot more of these details written out, so you can take some time to digest these things, to be in prayer over these things, to work through these things. And we also want you to know, we want you to be able to ask us questions. This isn't, we're not making all these decisions. We're really trying to, again, come with a consensus. And so please reach out to us by the email. We have that new email, leadpastors@newportcov.com. So we invite you to send us an email there and kind of continue dialogue. And we want to continue to hear and work these things through together as a community.
Absolutely. We know that you are already praying for us, for your church, for your community, and we ask that you continue to pray. And we ask that you are patient with us as we are seeking to be patient, that we might approach this with discernment that requires more time than maybe some of us are used to, but we'll take care of that time so that we can take care of one another and take care of our community. We are committed to these conversations. We are seeking the presence of the Spirit, the discernment of the Spirit, so that we can make good decisions for you, for everyone, and so that God would be glorified even as we're doing all of this. It's remarkable. So thank you for taking the time to hear us, to welcome us, to be in this conversation with us. We already love you.
See you next time.
Okay.